Hey Laura, so for these two problems, so you're factoring your quadratic equation. So what I did for you ahead of time is just recognizing that when it's in standard form, right, your ax squared plus bx plus c, your a is a 3, your b value is a -8, and then your c value is 4. First thing you want to do is just multiply the a and the c value together. So the 3 and the 4 would give you a 12. And then your b value obviously is the -8. So what you're trying to do is figure out, and I think you got this far in the problem, you're trying to figure out the two numbers that multiply to whatever the AC value is and then add up to whatever the B value is. So in this case, if you're thinking of factors of 12, right, 2 and 6, you can manipulate the 2 and 6 to add up to a -8 and multiply to a positive 12 if it's -2 and -6, right? -2 plus -6 is a -8, and -2 times -6 is a positive 12. So what you're going to do is use these two numbers to rewrite that B term, okay? So you're going to keep the 3x squared and the plus 4, but then instead of writing -8x, you're going to rewrite the -8x using these two numbers, the -2 and -6. Now you want to be careful which one you put first, because obviously if you put the 2 here and the 6 here, you can't factor anything out between a 3 and a 2. So you actually want to write it with the 6 first, so -6x and then -2x. So again, all I did was replace this -8x, that B term, by rewriting it with those two numbers that we found, the -2 and the -6, but you're putting them as x terms there. And I put the 6 first because I can actually pull out a common factor between 3 and 6, and then I put the 2 second because I can pull out a common factor between the 2 and the 4. Okay, once you have that written out like that, you're kind of just going to split it down the middle and then factor each side. So between 3x squared minus 6x, I can pull out a 3 and an x, right? So 3x times x is going to give me the 3x squared, and then minus 3x times 2 will give me the -6x. Now if I factor the right-hand side, I can pull out that -2. So -2 times x is going to give me the -2x, and -2 times a -2 is going to give me the positive 4. Now notice when I factor this, I have matching expressions inside my parentheses. That should kind of be like a giveaway that you actually factored correctly. So every single time you do this process, these expressions should be matching, okay? So that means one of your factors is simply just going to be whatever is in parentheses. So in this case, it's just x minus 2. And then your other one is just going to be the outside terms that are put together. So it's going to be 3x minus 2, like that, okay? So I'll quickly go through number 2 for you, and then hopefully that'll be enough for you to kind of get going with it, all right? So for number 2, again, the A term is 2, the C term is 2, and then my B term here is 5. So if I multiply A and C, 2 times 2 is 4, and then my B term is 5. So once again, it's just two numbers that multiply to my AC and then add up to my B term. So the only really factors I can think of are 2 and 2 and 1 and 4. So I can manipulate the 1 and the 4, right, to add up to a 5. So 1 times 4 gives me 4. 1 plus 4 gives me the 5. Those are the two numbers I'm going to use to rewrite that middle term there. So again, I'm going to keep the same 2x squared and the plus 2, but I'm going to rewrite that 5x. It doesn't really matter which one I put first because I have 2's on either end. So I can write it as plus 1x plus 4x. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to split it down the middle here and factor each side. So between 2x squared plus 1x, I can factor out a 1x. And then 1x times 2x is going to give me 2x squared. 1x times 1 is going to give me the 1x. And then for the right-hand side, I can factor out a 2. And I can do, let's see, 2 times 2x will give me the 4x, and then 2 times 1 would give me the 2. And once again, I have matching expressions right inside my parentheses, meaning that is in fact one of my factors. And then the other factor is just combining what's on the outside here. So it's combining 1x plus 2, so it'll just be 1x plus 2, or just x plus 2.